So you might be struggling with the same things that one of my clients is struggling with, and what many of my clients has struggled with over the years of getting their workouts in. They have a preference on when they'd like to get their workouts in, but their workouts, it's just not realistic, or the ability for them to do them when they'd like to do them just isn't there. So I gave my clients some tips that I want to share with you. So again, if you're struggling with getting your workouts in and you're trying to figure out how can you remedy that situation, what can you do about it, these two tips, or maybe one of these two tips, might work. So one of my clients, she's struggling getting her workouts in. And one of the reasons, or some of the reasons that she's struggling, is because she has a hard time getting up in the morning to get the workouts in, because she'd need to get up super early for her to make it happen. And I get it. I love to wake up early. And if you guys have watched any of my workouts on the channel, you've heard me say that I'm in the gym sometime at 2:30 in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, recording these workouts. And I will admit that although I enjoy getting up and recording these workouts, some days it is tough and I am dragging myself out of the bed. So my client does prefer working out in the morning, but it's not always realistic. So she can't get it done then. However, like most people, at the end of the day, it's difficult, because that's when all the obstacles happen. That's when all the stuff that we tend to put off tends to take a priority, and we've got to do those things. Or we've got other responsibilities. We've got to cook. We've got to clean. We've got to take care of the kids. We've got to do all of these things that need to get done. So one of the things I told my client was, I asked her, I said, well, could you do this? I said, could you go in to work a half an hour later? Because most of her workouts are about 30 minutes. And we've got her set up where she needs to do at least 4 to 5 workouts per week of at least 30 minutes each. So I said to her, could you go in a half an hour later, and then you use that extra half an hour to get your workout in, and then you stay at work an extra half an hour. Now, this might work for some people if you have the freedom to kind of maneuver your schedule like this, but it may not. Your schedule may be so rigid that you have to be at work when you're told to be at work, and you have to leave when you're told, and there's no flexibility. So this may not work in that instance, but this thinking out of the box may create some time for you to give you the ability to be able to get those workouts in the morning, if that's what you prefer. Now, with my client, she owns her own business, so she could technically do it, but the reason why she goes into work earlier is so she can beat the traffic. So I completely understand that, but she does also understand that that is a possible go-to if needed, if this other suggestion doesn't work. So the other suggestion I gave her was to, before you leave work, get your clothes ready, put your clothes on. Don't wait till you go home. And I remember years ago, I would have clients that would work out in the evening and they would go home first to get changed and do whatever. Well, we all know that trap, and maybe not we all know that trap, but if you've ever done that before, you probably know that trap, that once you get home and you see your sofa and you see your bed and you see all the comfortable things in your living environment, or you see all the stuff that needs to get done, you see all the laundry piling up, and you see the dishes that need to be washed, that all of those things become excuses for you to not leave the house now that you're home. So what I tell all my clients, and this is probably not, cutting edge new information to some of you guys, but eliminate all the possibilities of you not doing it. Make it as easy as possible for you to get it done. Make it as hard as possible for you to make excuses to not do it. So before you leave work, change into your workout clothes. Now, she works out at home, so she's not going to a gym. This works perfect if you are going to a gym after work because you're going to a place where the sole purpose is to work out. A little bit more difficult at home, but it can be done. And this is probably one of the easiest ways to remove as many barriers as possible, because now if you don't do that, now you get home, now you've got to put on your clothes, and now every moment that you waste gives you another opportunity to start making excuses for why you don't have time or for why you don't feel like working out. So what I say is you can go a step further. One of my clients, what she does is she has this Bluetooth speaker that has a timer on it, and she times it to start playing her workout music so that when she gets home, that speaker is already playing, and that is her cue that it's time to work out. You know how they have those coffee pots with timers on it where you can start the pot in the morning, you can set it to start making your coffee at a certain time? Well, she does that with her Bluetooth speaker. So that is like her hack to know that, okay, it's time to work out. So hopefully these two tips help in helping you to get your workouts in, whether it be in the morning or in the evening. And let me know if you try these tips, or if you have any tips to add to this conversation, leave those down below in the comments. And if you need any help on your journey, click the first link below in the description, fill out the form, and the two of us will figure out what we need to do together to get you from where you're at to where you want to be.